Two.
Good morning in the West, good afternoon in the East, and good wherever you are. We welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro, which is in North Denver, Colorado, and we're here to deliver the word. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
And we're so glad you can join us today. We're going to do some business to start out. Oh, I'm going to do a prayer. That's what I'm going to do. So if you would, close your eyes, center yourself, get comfortable in your inner world as I recognize that there's only one God, one power, one life. It is the source of everything good. It is the source of love and peace and harmony and joy, freedom, power, clarity, inspiration, creativity, all this and so much more. I know God is. I know God is my life, the very substance of my being. As I know that for myself, I know it for Reverend Valerie and for all those who are watching this day. Right where you are, God is in its entirety, lacking nothing, limited by nothing, restricted by nothing. God is. And so as we move into this wonderful time to celebrate this thing called Easter, where kids are finding eggs and finding the joy of life, we join them in that. I know that this service unfolds beautifully, that everything that anyone needs to hear, they hear and get the gift of inspiration. I know this is the day that God has made, so I rejoice in it. I give thanks for being here. I give thanks for the technology that brings us to wherever you are. I give thanks for life itself, but more than words can say, I'm grateful to know that this word is complete and now fulfilling itself. So I can now release, let go, let God, and allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is. Now we can do business.
You're going to announce?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm off my game. We have somebody very special that's our music inspiration, and she's waiting, wherever she'll tell you what she is, but she's waiting to do our first song. Her name is Anji Kat.
Hi, everybody. Well, thank you so much for having me, and what a beautiful morning. I'd like to share with you a song called That's Who I Am, which is based on the Rumi poem that goes something like this. You are not a tiny drop within the vast ocean. You are the entire ocean contained in that tiny drop. Some days I forget who I'm supposed to be in it. There's a voice deep inside. Will I choose to listen, open to what's hidden? In every heart a spark so bright. I am the light, I am the love, I am the faith that never gives up. Hide in the dark, stumble and fall. I'm a storm of doubt when hope is lost. An ocean and a tiny drop, yeah, that's who I am. Look in the mirror, could it be any clearer? I am more than I see. I'm not just a number, I'm here to discover. Called to be everything I can be. I am the light, I am the love, I am the faith that never gives up. Hide in the dark, stumble and fall. I'm a storm of doubt when hope is lost. An ocean and a tiny drop, yeah, that's who I am. That's who I am. I cannot hide symphony needs every note. I am the light, I am the love, I am the faith that never gives up. Oh, I am the light, I am the love, I am the faith that never gives up. I hide in the dark, I stumble and fall. I'm a storm of doubt when hope is lost. I am the light, I am the love, I am the faith that never gives up. I hide in the dark, I stumble and fall. I'm a storm of doubt when hope is lost. An ocean and a tiny drop, yeah, that's who I am. That's who I am.
Thank you, Angie. That was wonderful. We appreciate you doing this for us, and we're going to enjoy you being here with us as our special music, and we're so appreciative. Thank you so much.
So, happy Easter, everyone.
Yes.
Today's title is A Call to Return to Life. And the reading today is from a little pamphlet Ernest Holmes wrote called Immortality. And you already heard our guest artist, Anji Kat, and we're so glad to have her. And if you use Facebook, please check into the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. If you shop on Amazon, we invite you to add the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro as your charity. We also want to remind you that you can do prayer requests online. And so if you go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and send us a prayer request, we'd be just really, really honored to pray for you. And with you, if that's a thing you want to, just let us know. We have a new thing this week called Text to Give. And so when we get a little later in the service, I'll give you all that information. And I think our beloved Anthony is going to put that on the screen too. And thank you so much for that. So let's move into the affirmations for the week. The consciousness of the world is uplifted as I expand mine. Prosperity is the natural result of my thoughts, words, and deeds. Divine wisdom guides and directs me. As I know my oneness and wholeness, I know it for all. In this very moment, all is perfect as it should be, and so it is. Death loses its sting, the grave its victory, when we realize the eternity of our own being. Nature will not let us stay in any one place too long. She allows us to stay just long enough to gather the experience necessary to the unfolding and advancement of the soul. This is wise, for should we stay here too long, we would become too set, too rigid, too inflexible. She demands the change in order that we may advance. When the change comes, we should welcome it with a smile on the lips and a song in the heart.
Love that.
It is human to grieve over the loss of dear ones. We would not wish it to be otherwise. We love them and cannot help missing them, but it is a true realization of immortality and the continuity of the individual soul will rob us of our grief and any sense of hopelessness. We shall know that loving friends have met them and that their life still flows on with the currents of eternity. We shall feel that we have not lost them. They have only gone before. Let us learn to view eternity as a continuity of time, forever and ever expanding, until time, as we now experience it, shall be no more. Realizing this, we shall see in everyone a budding spirit, a becoming God, an unfolding soul, an eternal destiny. We are born of eternal day, and the spiritual sun shall never set upon the glory of our being, for it is the coming forth of God into self-expression. Every person is an incarnation of eternity, a manifestation of the infinite. No one need to prepare to meet God. God is meeting them every day and each hour in every day. God meets us in the rising sun, in the flowing stream, in the budding rose, in the joy of friendship and love, and in the silence of our own soul.
Whew. Ernest Holmes sure knows how to say it, doesn't he? So once again, we are so happy to announce our special music, Anji Kat.
Thank you. This next song is called Back to Eden, which is a place where we can go to at any moment in our hearts and in our minds. I hope you'll join me in coming back to Eden today. This dusty road leads me to nowhere. Miles and miles traveling alone. Took a wrong turn somewhere and ended up where I started from. There must be some place better than this. So I'm looking everywhere for a sign. All I have to do is stop and ask directions. Now, just what was it I was trying to find? Take me to the place where the sun shines on smiling faces under blue, blue skies, where my heart is happy and free, living a life of joy and meaning. Oh, that's the reason I'm going back to Eden. Take me back to Eden. Thought I had to leave to get anywhere, to be any place than where I am. I looked around and finally realized paradise is right before my eyes. Take me to the place where the sun shines on smiling faces on the blue, blue sky, where my heart is happy and free, living a life of joy and meaning. Oh, that's the reason I'm going back to Eden. Take me back to Eden. When I close my eyes, I remember, I think I've been here before. No need to run, just surrender. I'm not searching anymore. Take me to the place where the sun shines on smiling faces on the blue, blue skies. Oh, take me to the place where the sun shines on smiling faces on the blue, blue skies, where my heart is happy and free, living a life of joy and meaning. Oh, that's the reason I'm going back to Eden. Take me back to Eden. I'm going back to Eden.
Thank you, Angie.
Yay.
That was wonderful.
It was beautiful.
We love you. What a glorious day. Such a great day to be alive. Even though we're all cozy in our little homes, there's something to be thankful for. It's Easter, and we should rejoice, right?
That's right.
It's a good time. We're going to talk about Jesus. We in Centers for Spiritual Living, we acknowledge all the great teachers of time, Buddha and all the rest of them, and great teachers of our time. But we're going to focus in on Jesus today. There's there are three gifts that I think that are important that he's attributed to bringing to humanity. And the first one is the power of our word. He said, anything you pray for and ask, believe that and you will receive it, and it will be done upon you. So anything that you pray for and ask, believe that it's already done, and it's done. The second thing he brought was unconditional love. And that's a pretty large thing to step into, because he reminds us that we are to love our enemies and all those who persecute us. How many times have you stepped into a place where somebody has done you wrong and you send them love? It's a big gift to give to the world. The third one is what we're celebrating today, and that is his resurrection. And he's teaching us that we're eternal beings, that we are immortal, that just because we're in our bodies now doesn't mean that it ends when we leave our bodies. So we celebrate this day. I was thinking about this and thinking about it metaphysically, because that's what we teach in Centers for Spiritual Living, is the metaphysical practice of prayer, affirmations, spirituality. And when you think about dying and resurrecting, it happens all the time. Sometimes the death is in the process of happening, and the rising is simultaneously taking place. I think of our Earth right now and how it was dying. Snow caps in the North Pole were falling. The air was polluted. Water was polluted. And look what's happening now. Look what's taking place. We're seeing the air. We're seeing past the way it used to be. There was pictures of Los Angeles that I just recently saw, and it was clear as far as you could see. And I lived in LA for a long time, and that I never saw that. And there was another picture that was on Facebook of Lake Michigan. It was taken from a plane, and the water was so clear that you could see a sunken ship in there. And there's so many other things that are healing on this planet. So we also have our individual dying and resurrecting. There's all kinds of things that we die from. What comes to mind immediately is how we went through the airport. And maybe young people don't remember this, but there was a time where you could just walk your family to where they board the plane and say goodbye to them. And then it changed, and we had to adapt. The normal had died, and a new norm had taken place. And now we have to go through these long lines and take our shoes off, take our belt off, and really walk through these things that see everything on our bodies. And to me, that it's like there's nothing to hide. Here I am, my body, but I'm more than that. So our norms are always changing. I had norms where, we all had norms where we go from being a child into being an adult. We go from being in school to providing for our families and for ourselves. We go from working to retirement. And eventually we go from this plane into another plane. So we're always changing, always growing. There's something else that is remarkable about this man. He taught us that we are more than our bodies. He taught us that there's always life after this life, because life is a continuance. But what I really liked that he taught was this thing that everybody said, that he was put on the cross to save us from our sins. But when you break it down metaphysically, we look at the word sin, and where did it come from? It came from Greek and Hebrew, and its original meaning was missing the mark or making a mistake. So when when it said that he died to relieve us of our sins, what I see it meaning is that he died to release us from mistakes that we make. So I make a mistake, and it causes a small death in my soul, something that is a hole in my soul. But if I learn from it, then I cross over. And metaphysically, that's what the cross means, crossing over from one point to the other point, crossing from the mistake into what we have learned, growing from the mistakes, expanding into our greater yet to be, because we all make mistakes. And so this thing called sin, missing the mark, making a mistake, happens all the time. What is missing the mark? Well, sometimes it's not knowing your wholeness. Sometimes it's not knowing the oneness with everything that is. Sometimes it's just goofing up, just hurting somebody by mistake, or doing something that isn't in integrity to all of humanity. We have always a choice from any death that we have in our experience to grow and learn from that mistake, to have a resurrection into our greater yet to be. I know that this man came here to teach us love, to love each other, to grow and expand, to have our deaths and to resurrect from them, to become something that we weren't yesterday into something that we are now. Valerie?
So I was on the minister's listserv yesterday, and Reverend David Alexander wrote this thing that I'm going to quote right now. The resurrection Easter moment is a moment in consciousness when we realize that the power of the eternal is alive within us, despite a setback. Transformation is possible for any and all because that moment can come at any time. And so we celebrate this time as that transformation, and we recognize it can come at any time. So it can come today and again tomorrow and the day after that and forever and ever. We continue to have those transformations and those resurrections from who we were to who we are. So I'm inviting us to look at the things that we would like to release and let go of and overcome and be better than. So what things are holding us back right now? Guilt for things undone, guilt for things done. So I'm inviting us to take this time to really go into ourselves and understand the resurrection and understand the transformation. And we have the opportunity to forgive ourselves, to forgive others. Jesus said, forgive 70 times 7.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure I haven't gotten to that many. There have been times in my life where there was somebody that did something to me that seemed like so awful I could never forgive. And then I had this moment. I'm thinking of one person in particular, and that person did things that were intentionally hurtful and mean. And I had this moment where I realized this is a very hurt and injured person. And that person is behaving out of that injury. And it's directed at me because I'm standing in front of that person. But it's not about me. It doesn't have anything to do with me. It has only to do with the hurt that's inside that person. And so knowing that no matter what was said or what was done, I'm still whole, perfect, and complete all of the time. And I can look back at that person with love and say, I'm holding for you that healing that I know is possible and true for all of us. And so we can begin to look at those hurts and those injuries in a new way and realize we all have the possibility and the opportunity to transform at any moment, to recognize that oneness within us, to recognize, as Anji said, that we're a drop within the ocean, that we are whole, perfect, and complete right here and right now. And so as Easter comes in this glorious springtime, and people for centuries and centuries have honored this time with eggs and gifts and bunnies, and we can honor it as a new beginning. We can become a new me. We can become a new you. We can renew ourselves and regenerate and grow and go forth understanding our greater yet to be and understanding the truth of who we are and who we came here to be.
So I invite you to use these gifts that this great human being brought to our planet, and use your word when you've been hurt or somebody's done you wrong, or whatever mistake you've made of your own. Use your word to declare the truth about yourself and about that other individual, and know that even though they may have hurt you or persecuted you in some way, that you have the capability to shadow them with love, to fill them with the love. And there is no spite, there is no revenge. You're just this ocean, as Anji put it, of good, of loving presence. And in that moment that you can forgive that individual and surround them with love, then you have resurrected into your greater yet to be. You have become the individual that you came here to be. You have recognized within yourself that Christ's presence that is indwelling, always present, and always for you. Anything else?
So now that we've released the things that no longer serves us, it's time to recognize our renewal. And we can renew with every breath. So just breathe in with me and breathe out with me and recognize this is a new beginning. This is a new beginning. Every time we breathe in and breathe out, it's a new beginning. Always and forever, we're transforming. It's a new beginning. Breathing in, breathing out. So when we're feeling a little stressed or a little out of sorts or maybe a little homebound or a little bored, we can just transform it, just breathing in and breathing out and recognizing the truth of our being, our oneness with God, and just breathing in that breath of life, that breath of oneness, that breath of truth, that breath of wholeness. Breathing out any worries, any concerns, any challenges that we might have, recognizing that we're safe, we're protected, the earth is renewing, we're becoming new at every moment. And that we too can transcend that death and that into a greater life. And so every moment we can live our greater life. We can start recognizing the things that we want to have in our life. Love and peace and truth and harmony and joy and purpose and kindness. We can recognize all of those things, and we can remember that with the breath. Breathing in, breathing out, releasing what no longer serves us, embracing what does, embracing kindness, embracing oneness with all people. Every single one of us on this planet is going through this thing all together. We're not separated by race or countries, or we're not separated by anything. We're all right here together going through this thing as our earth renews and as we renew. And so I'm so grateful for this opportunity to recognize the truth of our beings, to recognize our oneness, to release the past, embrace our greater yet to be, and understand the truth of our being, our oneness.
Yes. So if you would join us as we pray. Close your eyes. Once again, returning to that perfect place that is eternal, everlasting, powerful, uplifting. Right there at the core of your being, God is, in all its glory, all its splendor, fulfilling itself in every moment, expanding as you every day. The perfection of the universe in all its glory, all its peace, all its love, all its harmony, right at the center of your being. And as we recognize that this great intelligence that created this universe and everything within it, that created my life and your life, that created the technology that we can be with you right here and right now, that continues to create and expand in its bountifulness, I know that this day is glorious. I send out light and love to every person on this planet that is hurt in some way, that is in pain in some way, that is feeling lack or limitation, that is feeling less than their self. I call upon that which is within them, from that which is within me, to step into your glory, step into your greatness. You are a child of God. You are made in God's likeness and image. You are immortal. You are powerful. I send out light and love across this planet. First of all, giving thanks for the opening and reality that we're experiencing from this thing that is taking place, that we're all experiencing. I send light and love to that. I give thanks because it is the change that we were waiting for. It is the death of a norm and the resurrection into a brand new norm that we can all celebrate, all treat each other nicer, all celebrate the planet and honor it for what it has to give, changing habits of self-destructive ways and moving into a place where we glorify the planet, help it return to its fullness. Snow caps on both poles, clean water, clean air. We accept this new norm together. And so for this, I give thanks. I bless all those who have asked for prayer in any way, for those that are part of our spiritual center, for those members, for those who are watching at this time. I surround you with light and love. So grateful for your life. You are purposeful, and I celebrate that. And knowing that this word has power and it cannot come back void, I release it into the light and to the law with a deep sense of gratitude, letting go and letting God, and simply letting it to be. And together we say, and so it is. Once again, Anji Kat.
There's so much to be thankful for today. So I invite you to join me singing this new song called Thankful. I'm walking down the sunny side of the street, song in my heart, light on my feet. I'm walking down the sunny side of the street. Every face is a friend I'd like to meet, yeah. There are clouds above my head sometimes, but I like the color gray. There are clouds in my life sometimes, but I like to dance in the rain. What is this feeling raining down on me? Drops of rain, drops of sun, it don't matter none, 'cause in my heart I'm free. Thankful, I'm so thankful for every little thing. Thankful, so thankful. Every morning is a new dawn, brightened by the sunrise. Every moment is a new one, when I choose to see with new eyes. What I'm seeing is what I'm feeling, changing all the rules. It's deep in my soul, in my bones, I know it all starts with gratitude. Thankful, so thankful for every little thing. Thankful, I'm so thankful. Yeah, thankful. I'm so thankful for every little thing. Thankful, I'm so thankful. Oh yeah, thankful.
Thank you, Anji. That was beautiful. We appreciate you and we're thankful for you.
So this is our conscious giving time. You see the basket? Okay, so these are gifts that came in the mail or were dropped by our door this week, and we're inviting you to join us. There are several ways that you can give. You can text to give, which is why you give at 888-364-GIVE. And then you'll receive your giving interface so that you can set that up. You can give on our website. We have PayPal and we have Subsplash, so that those are other two ways. And so we just appreciate your support and thank you so much for that. And you want to bless these and everything that might be coming in?
Yes. And so we're so very grateful for these gifts, for what they represent. We send them out into the universe knowing that they touch many people and uplift many people, and they come back multiplied to those that gave. For this and so much more, I give thanks, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you.
So we have one more song that we're looking forward to hear. So once again, here's Anji Kat.
Thank you so much. And happy Easter, everyone. Just remember that this is your time to shine, and this song is called Your Time. I know there's more to you than meets the eye. You can no longer keep the secret inside. I know you're scared of what they'll say, but it's you that needs to show the way. This is your time to let your spirit shine. This is your time to set your heart on fire. Come out from the shadows and stand in the light. This is your time. Sometimes the road is rough and you'll get lost. Just be brave no matter what the cost. You have a gift to share with all the world. Come on, stand up and show them what you're worth. This is your time. Let your spirit shine. This is your time to set your heart on fire. Come out from the shadows and stand in the light. This is your time. This is your time. Take a step and claim this life of yours. Go to the edge, spread your wings and soar. This is your time to let your spirit shine. This is your time to Set your heart on fire. Come out from the shadows. Stand in the light. This is your time. This is your time. This is your time. Ooh.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you, Anji.
You.
We enjoyed having you as part of the service, and we send out light and love to you. And we encourage anybody. I'm going to ask Anthony, was her website on the? Check her out, because she has music she'd love to share with you, and she appreciates you buying any of her CDs that's for sale. So thank you, Anji.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, in absolute gratitude. We just focus within. We're so grateful for this time together. Grateful for this day. Grateful for all the blessings that we have. And so I just send light and love out to the world, out to each person, and absolute divine healing also out to the world and out to each and every person and each and every animal all over the planet, in absolute gratitude for this Easter day, for this time together, for absolute life itself, and for knowing the truth of our being. In gratitude, absolutely knowing this word is done in the mind of God, that it's complete. And so there's nothing more for me to do but release it into the spirit of love and into the action of the law. And together we say, and so it is, Ashe, Amen.
And so we thank you for joining us, and we also invite you to invite those that may like to watch in on next Sunday. We thank you so much.
And if you'd like to join us in discussion following, you can join us on the Zoom link, which will be up shortly. So abundant blessings. Goodbye, everyone.